Okay,
All right.
good evening, everybody.
Hello.
With the Greentown Board of Zoning Appeals with a public hearing, we'll open it now at 7:02 or 6:02. Okay. We are here this evening for a variance request. Variance request from Garrett Dixon. Is that you, Garrett?
That's me.
Okay. And Garrett's here. Is that your wife, Garrett?
This is my wife and my daughter Ellis. Katie and Ellis.
Katie and Ellis.
Yeah. Oh, and puppy. We don't have a name yet.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Stay right here.
You can show.
And you folks?
Swishers. Merrill and Linda.
Okay. All right. You're the neighbors? Okay.
819.
819. Okay, the east side neighbors.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. The variance request for this evening is to construct a fence on the Dixon property, to install a 6-foot tall fence on both the east and west property lines. And it's listed as a reason for the west side fence, because the neighbor already has a fence that's on the property line, so you're wanting to put that one on the 3-foot setback, is that correct?
Yes, I would like a box in the property kind of so that the little one can't get out. So we were just gonna go right up to his fence.
Right up to his fence.
Yes.
So we don't wanna do the 3-foot, we wanna build directly on our property line there.
Oh, I see.
From his
So-
fence to our house, basically.
That way it's not two fences with a gap in between.
So you're wanting to build a fence right alongside of his?
No, we're trying to avoid that.
So we just wanna build from his fence to our
I was gonna
house.
tee off of his fence.
I
Yes.
see.
Tee off of his
Okay.
fence.
You're gonna tie into his corner
Tie
post.
into his
Yes.
corner, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 90 and go straight to our house.
Okay.
That would make most sense besides buying double material and digging double the holes, and then if anything ever happened to that storm pipe, we'd have to tear out twice
Okay.
as much.
All right, then let's
Okay.
put it this way. Since you are, now that's the one where you would be taking the fence from the fence on the west side of your house and bringing it up to the house.
Yes, correct.
Since you would be connecting that fence to an existing structure, you would not even need a variance to do that,
Okay.
Okay.
okay? But the other, now let me ask this question. The fence in the south side of the property, that's an existing fence that's already there, right?
His fence is already there also, so we'd be tying in on that side, and the variance on the alley side, I wouldn't mind, just because the pole is there, the power pole. So we're gonna set the fence on the inside of the power pole. Just makes the most sense that way. And I would do the same thing, come off of his fence, 90 across to the east.
Now that's the fence on the south side,
Yes, south side.
and you're wanting to put that fence on the property line or the 3-foot setback?
I'm not sure if his is on the 3-foot or not. I thought he was 3 foot from it in the back. So we were gonna
Just
not worry about the variance on the south end.
That one we would build on the 3-foot if it makes sense for the power pole.
Okay, then one thing you would need to do there before you started construction would be to locate the property line there.
Yeah.
2 ways you can do that. That's either get a surveyor to do it for you or get an agreement with the adjoining property owner as to where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Either way is fine with us.
Okay.
Okay, then you would be building your fence then 3 foot or on the property line there.
Okay. Well, 3 foot from the property line, on the south end,
3 foot inside the property line.
yes.
Okay, so you wouldn't need a variance for that.
No, we
No.
didn't wanna file a variance for the south end.
Okay, all right. So we've covered the south and the west then. Okay, the east side. And that's where you wanted to get it on the property line?
Yes, there are some trees there, so I didn't wanna, cut down the trees or cut the branches and whatnot. But it's
Okay.
nice privacy for all, everyone involved. And then, we would like enough space to put a fence to, get like mowers and stuff in and out of the backyard, next to the garage there,
Okay,
or a gate, about like the gate, so.
so the fence on the east side of your property will be placed on the property line.
I would like to, yes.
So you would need a variance for,
Yes,
for
was
that. So
The
he
other
needs,
side that I would like the variance.
he needs a variance for a fence placed on the property line on the east side of his property, from the fence on the south side up to his garage.
I have a comment.
Okay?
I forget your name, Canoe, but that's not your proper name.
Gary Hill.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Why, the trees he's talking about, if you put the fence in to the east of the trees, and he'd been mowing from those trees up to the road, Uncle Tom Road, Street, he'd been mowing right against the house. Is that true?
Yes. Yes, that's where the county line, or the county, photos that we had up here showed the property line was.
And so, I don't want to fence up against the house, of course, but if we give him permission to start the fence back there on the property line, and for some reason he ever wants to extend it to the road, Uncle Tom, he's got a fence right against the house. And another problem I see, I see this map, but I don't know how accurate that is. You know, I've always dealt with, I need a stake right there where my corner is. And then I don't see it. You know, may have been there at one time, but I don't see it.
I agree with you on that, because on my property, on two of the corners of property lines on mine, they are off to the south by 8 feet.
You know,
of what
seeing
my
another
property
point,
is.
he talked to the neighbor to the west side, and the neighbor said he built the fence, his fence, on the property line. So, I heard him say, you know, so we're gonna take that as the property line. How do we know that's really where the property line is?
Well, his was already staked, so that's why
We know where the
we
property
know where the property line was on his side.
Survey stakes?
Yeah, there was stakes on, both the south end of his. So that's where I was gonna run 150-foot tape from that stake to the other line.
It's
By
a
the
survey
trees.
stake, certified survey stake.
Yes, both, the southwest and southeast of his corner had survey stakes. So, I believe that's what he used for the fencing company that came and did the fence. Cause otherwise the company would be liable, right?
Has it got a cap on it
Uh,
to certify it?
I'm not sure, but the, what is it called, Schaefer's fence, they would be liable to pull that whole fence out if they did it on the wrong line, right?
No,
Well,
no one would be.
Was it surveyed when you bought it?
The property, our property, no.
No, okay.
They just gave us the lot dimensions, so.
And you just judged from that one corner then, for
Yeah.
your dimensions?
Yeah, that one corner, you know, you go 50 foot per lot,
Yeah.
and then you find the other stake. I mean, a surveyor could do the same thing with a level and a laser sight, but, I'm not sure they would come up much difference, maybe a few inches.
see, my problem is, this can lead to problems later. If it's not exactly right today, we just spent $28,000 defending 30 foot that turned out in our favor, but I still lost $28,000 lawyer fees.
So if, when we decide to sell that property, that's what we're wanting to avoid. If it's not, because whoever buys it's gonna want a survey,
Mhm.
and, you know, maybe the fence is too far east, or maybe it's not far enough west, or just don't want any complications in the future.
Right. So to clarify, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. So you are to the east of him,
That's right.
and the fence on the west already exists.
Yes.
Yes,
So that's immaterial because it's already there. If and you're not wrong, if they built that and the owner told them to put it there, it's the owner's responsibility if it's not on the property. It's not Schaefer fence.
but it was already staked.
Right.
So I think they just followed the stakes.
If it's already staked, then that's
I think
with
that was
a
part of-
certified. So on the east side, then you're talking about property line. What I'm hearing the Swishers say is, if there are not stakes there, that needs to be survey staked to make sure that your fence is on the property line.
Okay.
But my thing is, if we pay, cause we had estimates for surveyors to come out and do a survey.
Mhm.
That's about $4,000 out of our pocket for a surveyor.
Mhm.
Are we gonna spend that money, stake it, see that our property line is directly up against their house, and then they still say, no, we want that 3-foot variance? Cause then we just wasted
Yeah, do we spend $4,000?
$4,000 to
Right.
get 3-foot.
So do you think your house is right on the property line? Because Beacon's not super accurate.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
Beacon is not. Yes, how accurate it was. It's not. The picture
yeah.
is not perfect.
Yeah, well, I figured that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, the problem is that never came up. Eddie lived there for years, you know, and we didn't care what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We got along and helped each other.
So
You're, let me see if I got this right. You're coming up on the east side from the southeast corner,
Mhm.
and you're only coming up so far, not to the house.
What I wanted to do was come up to the corner of the garage
And build back.
and build back.
Okay, where is that in relation to his house?
You know, I'm not exactly sure which
The
corner.
front corner or the back corner of the
I was gonna
garage?
go to the front corner, but, I mean, we could do
We
either.
can do the back corner if it's gonna be
Yeah.
a big deal,
I-
but then it's to the back of his house as
Okay,
well.
the front corner is close to our house, but the back corner of the garage is not.
If we did have a surveyor come out and put stakes for you, would you still want a 3-foot variance?
That's the thing, cause
That's-
$4,000 is a lot
I guess
of
that's the
money.
question.
The only reason I think I would like that, because Greentown came up with this idea because of disputes in the past. And since the house I have and the carport is probably 49.5 foot wide, I can't get in on Mumos to get in the backyard. I can't get in the alley because the church built planted pine trees in the alley. In fact, it looks like by this, they're in my backyard there. So, I absolutely don't wanna cause problems for anybody, or cause expense for somebody that's not necessary.
Right.
But if you would take your wheel, hit the center of the road and go down that way. But I just don't want it to be there stopping halfway, and then we get mad at each other, and you say, I'll just build a fence right against your house.
Can they do that? Can you put a fence up against a property like that?
well, the house shouldn't be on the property line unless you had a variance to put the house on the property line.
Yeah.
So it makes me
How long
think
that
there's
house
some.
has been there? It's
There's
really
some wiggle room on
Unless
the
the
county
house
line.
was built before we had an ordinance.
Yeah.
Probably.
So
Especially before you had the
I would
amendments here.
I would if I'm understanding this correct, what I would say is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. If the fence is put in, and when they go to sell their house, it's realized, hey, that's actually on our property, then you'd be liable and responsible for removing the fence off of their property.
So let's say, let's say the property line comes up to 1 foot from his house. And we follow the variance, or the Greentown, what is it? The 3 foot?
The setback.
3 foot setback.
The
So
setback.
let's say we follow the 3 foot setback, so now we're 4 foot from his house. We build a 6 foot fence to the road. Is that gonna give you enough space to get your stuff through?
You can't take it to the road. You have the variance for that. You can only go to the front of your house.
Not
Like,
to
we
the
can go
road, to
3
the
foot
front of
to
our
the road,
house.
right? Or the front of the house, whatever it is.
You'd have to have a variance to go past the front of the house to get to the road, correct?
The
Yes.
house is basically on the road, so.
Yeah. You can't go past the front of your house from.
So we would go to the front corner of the house?
You cannot go.
That's how, you could go that far without a variance.
Yeah. So I mean, that's our two options. We would go 3 foot from the property line, or we could go to the garage, or,
Well, there seems to be a situation right here about the property line.
yeah, so we get it
Because,
surveyed, we
well,
go 3 foot
there's-
off the property line.
like I explained earlier, you can get a survey done,
Yep,
that's fine, because that's solid. But you can also, we've also accepted agreements between the two property owners about where that property line is.
yes,
If the two people will agree where that property line is, then we allow people to go ahead. But on the other hand, if something legally comes up later on that shows that it's all different than what the agreement was, then whoever did the construction was be responsible for
oh
that.
yeah,
Well,
oh yeah. So
See, my
that's
concern-
why we would get a survey if that were the case.
my concern was, I saw that it had been mowing up against the house, on the west side of the house. So, and that's in line with those trees that's sticking out toward my property. And I don't think you can say you can build a fence up halfway or 2/3 of the way and have any legal grounds to enforce that.
Well, they're just gonna take it off the garage, I understand that.
Is this gonna be all written out in a contract or something like that?
It's gonna be written up in our variance statement. Yes.
I have one other question. So if you were to then sell the house, say we build the fence 3 feet off of our property line, you sell the house to whoever, they decide they wanna build a fence. Do they then have to come to us and ask if they can build off of our fence like we're doing with the other, or can they just build off of our fence?
If it's on your property, they can't come onto your property. If you're 3 feet off,
Yep,
they can't come to your property and connect.
okay.
They'd be infringing on your property.
I just wanna make
Yeah.
sure, because I don't want somebody to then build off of our property, taking our property if they wanted to build a fence on theirs as well.
Yeah, it'd kind of be like we just gave them 3 foot
Yeah.
times 150 foot of property. And they get quite the
So
backyard.
one of the go ahead.
Where is the
Scott.
corner of the garage at? Is it about 3 foot off the property line you're saying?
No, our garage has quite a bit of space according to the maps. There's
That's going
maybe
off the
10 to
map,
12 foot,
Does it-
and then there's
Oh,
the
okay.
photo of
maybe
the-
a 2 foot, 3 foot space to his house.
It's on the big screen.
It's hard to
It
see
is.
clearly.
So if you take it to the corner, you're gonna peel out a wall to the east a little bit and connect with the one coming in from the south.
Yep, correct.
3 foot in from the property line.
Well, it's probably not.
It looks like the
Was that
front,
a question? I didn't hear what you said.
No, he was talking to him about.
Oh,
where he's
oh,
taking it
it
off.
looks like the northeast corner of our garage matches up with the southwest corner of his house.
So what we wanted to do is take a fence here
Yeah,
and back to our property, or 3 feet from here. So it'd be here and back, which matches up with the back of their property as
It'd be
well.
here, not there.
No,
See, it's actually showing, if that's the property lines representing here, that's showing the houses on the property.
Yeah, that's not super accurate.
But see, what I've heard, they don't wanna, you start these trees along here,
We don't wanna cut down the trees, if we do not, if we went 3 feet in all the way, we would be building right in between these trees right here.
What I was wondering is this line's pretty close to your house.
That line is
Even
on
if we
his
built
house,
3 foot from that line without the variance,
we're still,
would it give you enough space to get anything through there? It probably
I'm not
would.
worried about giving me enough space. I'm worried about the legal end of it,
Yeah,
because someday that house will sell,
yeah.
but it's not for sale now.
I mean, basically, if we say, like, we're gonna build on our property line, and if the day comes, it's okay.
How many trees in the house is 3 foot back?
I mean, it's that big
That's
giant
the
pine
way
tree
they
that we
just
don't
come
wanna
off the front of the
remove,
barn.
because that thing
The
is
garage,
strong.
it goes straight south.
Whose property is
See, they've been mowing from here,
We've been mowing the whole side of the garage
We've been-
here.
Because
plus
we,
against the house.
Just
Because it
Merrill's.
showed that that was our property.
well, that too, and we didn't want
Which
it,
that-
we didn't know if anybody
that
was
thing could
living
be
there, we didn't know what.
That thing could be off 4, 5, 6 foot.
This
That property
Yeah,
line.
Yeah,
Yeah, I figured, a little more is better than a little less. I don't want a line between the two. And it probably helps him out anyways, because I gotta ride on.
3 feet off of this.
We
You
don't
know,
know, we
clean
don't
it
know
up.
where the property line is and that, but he has trouble.
Well, why don't they just go right off the southeast corner of the garage and
Yeah.
go straight back
Yeah,
and
whatever
just split
works.
the trees on
Well,
one side
this-
and the other side, and
See,
it
I'm
gives
not
them all that
concerned
extra
because
room.
this is
I think that's what he was
carport.
trying to avoid, those old.
And Max Smith mows the thing.
Mhm.
Well,
So that's a shadow.
Yeah, that's a shit. See,
My
Is that,
concern
oh,
is
that is
based
the
on this
detached garage.
court deal.
So
that's three, they got three.
So you would just like a survey,
Yeah.
So
basically.
you're talking
What if
3
we
feet
just
off
had a
that
survey crew come out and mark this corner here?
150 feet of,
How much would that cost?
Probably a lot less than the whole thing. They wanted $3,000 for the whole thing.
I would almost bet that line that shows right there is incorrect.
Well, somebody thought it was someplace else at one time. Of course, it
So-
didn't.
I'll
Big
buy
field there.
I'll buy a 150 foot, $10 tape measure and go 150 foot off of this guy's stake.
See,
And I'll put a stake,
that's a concern.
I'll
We
put a-
don't know that fence is right.
well, I'll put a stake there and then we'll call the survey guy and have him come compare. Then we'll see where it's at,
If you're willing to get survey stakes, certified,
Yes.
put 2, 1 and 2. That way you can measure off of it, you know where it's at, I can measure off it, I know where this line's at exactly, and there's no guessing.
I'm gonna make a suggestion as an option that may, because I'm trying to save you a bunch of money and also protect what you're talking about. What if you brought it 3 feet over where you think it is, that you're obviously not gonna be on the Swisher's property, and tie it right across the back there?
No, that's what I was saying. If I came 3 foot off where I thought it was into our property, is that gonna give him enough space to do whatever he needs to do
He
still?
wasn't concerned about that, he's more concerned
The
about the
property.
property line.
Yeah.
Can
So if you
you,
can, go ahead.
can you
No.
write it so that
That's-
if I agree to put it on the property line
Mhm.
for 100 foot or so, and then jump back, and if the fence is ever extended on, it would have to be with a 3 foot.
You'd have to come, yeah, wherever the fence ends, back of property, any new fence put on there would have to require another
variance.
variance, another meeting. Because it would be an extension, if we say, for example, hey, it's gonna go up to this point. If he wanted to extend it, he'd have to come back and ask for another meeting, and you'd be notified and say, no, I don't want it that close to my house. You couldn't
And
extend it.
what he's suggesting right now, bringing it in right here, that could all be done without having the survey done.
Save you $4,000.
Yeah, save you
Well-
all of that, and then.
Those don't cost $4,000.
They're not
They
cheap.
want,
Maybe
they want a
they're-
3,000 for 4 corners.
Yeah,
For 4 corners.
Yeah.
I've had Lincoln Street surveyed, and I know it went, of course, a few years ago, but
Right.
yeah,
But if you
no,
guys can
each,
agree on that, it would save him $1 grand, $2 grand, that goes a long way.
I was gonna say, yeah, we've had 3 surveys, or 3 estimates now, and all of them have been $3,000
Really?
to do
They're hard to
all,
find
yep,
anymore.
mhm.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can't find them.
Mine-
the only guy was down in Tipton.
mine cost me $1,400, but it was back in 1995.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was
And
on the other
the other
side.
guy
It's
in
tripled
Wabash,
down.
he said he wouldn't come out this way, cause he knows the other guys here and that's their
His
territory.
territory.
So if you said, we're gonna put it 3 feet off of the agreed property line, or on the, and make it to the back of the
Garage.
garage, then that would be a way where you wouldn't be able to extend it in the future by the house.
See, if we're talking about agreed property lines, wherever that is, come up here, and I get ready to sell this, and they get it surveyed, and it's somewhere else, you got a problem.
It would only be a problem if it crosses your survey property.
Your line, yeah, if you wanted to sell it and I was on your property, then I'd have to remove
You
the
have to move
fence.
the fence.
But,
So it'd
If
be,
it's 3
it'd be
feet
all
off,
me.
you got wiggle room.
all right, let's say this, if, I think this is what you said a while ago. I think you said that there was survey stakes here
It looks like they staked it before this guy purchased his house,
and
because we were looking at this house to buy the same time they sold this one.
but,
And there were stakes for his,
so they're here and here?
That's why we
here and here on his property.
seller gets
you a Oh, survey I see. stake.
But he said he
So-
didn't think they were certified.
So
But the guy
I could
could
measure
remove
between
the
those
stakes
and
and
see
sell
if they're 100 foot, and then we would go 50 foot, 50 foot, 50 foot for ours.
147 feet to 150.
From their stakes,
Yeah.
Be off by 3 feet.
as long as they're on money, I don't know. I mean, if we didn't do that, say we went 3 foot inside, we built the fence, it's not on his property, when he goes to sell it, then he would have to survey anyways. And then it'll cost you the money for the survey, which a few years from now might be more than 3,000.
But if you're 3 feet off, the odds of you being on his property pretty small.
Yeah,
And then you wouldn't have
yeah,
to,
our fence wouldn't have to come out, it would just be money out of his pocket, which,
if you wanted it surveyed.
if you wanted it surveyed for the sale,
But you will have to take those trees out to do that.
you know, I would probably only have to take out the one, maybe 2 in the back. I'm not sure, looking at them, I would have to get a stake in the ground, because, I mean, there's no way to eyeball it. You'd have to measure from this
Right,
guy's
you would.
stake
Wish they would talk.
this way, and then see where the trees lie. But I'm pretty sure one of them runs pretty close to the line. Just looking at the corner of his house, and standing there, and looking at the neighbor's fence, and the 90-degree there, I don't know how I would get around the trees. So, I'd like to leave them, but I used to cut trees for a living, so.
But how many trees is in that area right there?
There's probably 6.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 2 large ones on the end, and then 2 small wispy trees, a pine,
Good
and
wagon.
I mean, like in this 5 foot right through here.
right through here. Yeah, I think there's only one real close to the line, and maybe one other that's a little ways back.
Yeah. So there's only one tree you're talking about.
Maybe 1 tree. Yeah, 1 or 2. The branches off them, and I don't know if you've seen the trees back there. Both trees lean out away from those large. There's a large maple and maybe a chestnut or something. I don't know. But yeah, the trees lean out away from those other ones. So it would be kind of hard to get a fence in there without disturbing those trees. All the branches are on the east side, so you limb them up too much, the whole tree's just gonna die anyways.
Well,
I don't know. If you take more than a third of the leaves off a tree, then it dies, so,
I've got an idea.
yeah.
If you don't need that fence done in the next 30 days,
We waited about maybe
Well,
8 weeks so far.
if 30 days is 30 days is worth a couple grand to you, maybe the two of you could go in this weekend, measure, have an agreement, yeah, we're okay with this, and then come back another time with a different agreement.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like if you guys would kind of get on the same page as far as agreeing where, like, hey, I'm okay with this,
Because
good,
an agreement.
then come
between-
back.
Agreement of the property line between two property owners has always been accepted as well as a surveyor.
That's what I was trying to get, like a clear cut, like if we
Yeah.
get it surveyed,
If you want to
Yeah.
spend the money on it,
then are we okay to build the fence with you guys on the property line?
You're basing, I hear you say you're basing this because you don't wanna cut one tree.
I don't wanna cut the tree, I don't wanna, I don't wanna give up 3 feet of usable space because of the same issue you're having. Let's say I go to sell this house 10 years from now, and the people looking to buy it says, hey, 3 foot of our property's outside of the fence.
It's also a lot with this little one.
I don't know. I would like to be able to use the space to pull my mower in and out, or,
This is not a norm. I mean, when you're talking 3 foot on most properties, it's no big deal. But when you got what appears to be the property line on either side of the house, and you can't get back in the backyard, you can't get down the alley, and you're not giving, but there was an ordinance that was developed for a reason, and this could turn into a real contest.
which is why we're here for Board of Zoning Appeal, because they're asking for something outside of the ordinance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, if you guys can't figure out as far as where where the property line is, it kind of puts you in a situation where you're
Yeah.
looking at having to get a stake survey. So I would,
And if they get a stake survey and they find out that that property line is this far off the house,
so
it could be a catch-22. I don't, be up to
That's what I'm
you, it'd
saying.
be up to you guys to
that's
determine
what I'm
that.
saying, if we spend the money on the survey, and it's only this far from the house, we build our fence 3 foot from there,
Yep.
he's still gonna be kind of, ticked off. But then we spent the money,
Yes, but everybody would know then.
yeah,
Everybody know where the line was if either one of us decided to sell, you wouldn't have to do that again.
yeah, then,
See,
how do I get between the 3 foot to mow my property that's, in between my fence and your house?
push mower.
I have no idea,
Yeah,
Yeah.
push mower.
Push mower,
maybe,
yeah.
so I have to run a mower
this is
between,
turning into real.
I have to run a mower on the
situation.
outside of the fence.
So I think the best option, I think,
My
is-
neighbor has 150 foot of frontage,
Mhm.
and I've got 50 foot. I got problems getting in and out to the backyard, and because of one tree, he wants me to give him relief against this ordinance. And, I don't have anything against my neighbor. He's a new neighbor, never met him, so it's nice. But I don't want him to feel like I'm a butthole. But I think it's common sense that we need to do more than, if we knew where the center of the road was, Maple Street, which 213 extended north, we knew exactly where the center of that was, we would have to come back 50 foot. And then Muma's lot is on the corner. I assume that's,
They're each 50 foot.
well, it's probably 50 foot plus part of the road. It appears to be wider than that, but how wide is the road there? 50 foot?
I have no idea without checking the details from Howard County.
I think our thing was, we came to do this to see if we could build on our property line. It's now sounding like no matter what, where our property line is, once we figure out our property line, it's,
It's still not our property.
we're still not gonna be able to build on our property line, you would still want 3 feet. So it's kind of, basically at this point, what's the point of this variance if we're not gonna be allowed to build on our property line? Cause it sounds like kind of no matter what, we have to build 3 feet off. So,
Well,
it
in
kind
this-
of seems like a little bit of a, we came here to see if we could build on our property line. It's sounding like our other neighbor, he already built on it, he's totally fine with it, sounds good, do what you guys need to do. And this one is, no matter what, I want 3 feet because we don't have that much property, and if we sell, it's less property that we get to be able to sell, which I understand. We have another property as well. We have this property that, maybe one day we sell if she gets bigger and we don't wanna live here anymore. It's just, we came to see if we were able to build on our property line, and at this point it's seeming like, no, we are not. So we will go ahead and just do the 3 feet. And if we need to cut down a couple of trees, that's what we'll do.
But in this instance, with this situation, even setting it back 3 feet, you wouldn't need a variance for that, but you would still need an agreement on where the property line is, so you can measure that 3 feet.
Well, we'll get a survey done, we will spend the $4,000, we will get a survey done, see where our property line is, everybody will be happy, we'll build 3 feet off, and I can take my daughter home to go to sleep.
Tell you what, if you get a survey and it costs you $4,000, I'll pay half of it.
No, sir, it's okay.
The
I
two
would
stakes,
just rather,
the 2 stakes shouldn't be 4,000.
Well,
If we
I
get a
would
quote for
just
the 2 stakes, then I can share the quote with you.
build my fence on my property and,
When,
when we get a stake between me and you on the front and the back on the alley,
that works, we'll
Let's go
call and see what the quote
Let's
is
go home.
for just
It's
2
okay.
stakes instead of 4. And we'll come over and let you know, we'll give you the quote. And
okay,
see if maybe you guys wanna pay half of it.
I'll pay half of it.
And that way we know where the property line is, you could let us know if, the fence is okay there.
Once we know the property line, maybe we can come back in here with an agreement, or talk about what we did, where the property line is, see how accurate your map is, and talk about those trees in the alley.
Well, first off, that's not our map.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Are
not,
you aware of those trees? They're, south of Moomos.
I do not trust Beacon, period. I have encountered many people during the years that have had problems with that,
Trouble with it?
yes.
it's not.
It looks like satellite image, so I don't know how far
Okay, so I think that is
it goes.
a great agreement, and I thank you both for working this out as neighbors. Look for that survey if he's willing to pay half. You now know officially where that post is. You can look at, hey, am I okay 3 feet? Do I need to come back, talk about it? In the meantime, you don't need a variance to connect to the neighbor on the west side,
Okay,
so we're good there.
okay.
Yeah. And we will just put this on hold until we hear from you folks.
Alright, you guys do like a 30 days, what you said? Or,
Can I ask a question just real quick?
Please.
Because according to our building permit, if he does a stake survey and he's gonna do it 3 feet off the stake survey, he does not need to have a variance. He doesn't
Correct.
approve
No.
permit.
No,
Correct.
it
So
doesn't.
there's no more discussion. is
Correct.
What she was saying.
Yes.
Tonight, he's asking for you guys, if he gets a stake survey, can he put it on the property line? And your answer is no right now until they meet?
Because
Is that what you're saying?
because the Swishers don't know how that would impact them, so they don't know if they want to say yes or no to it being on the line because we don't know where the line is.
I just wanted to be clear.
You're correct.
Because if I approve a permit, because if he brings it back to me with the stake survey, and he brings back the permit with this 3-foot setback, then this permit will be approved.
Correct, because
Yes.
that meets the town
Yes.
ordinance.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
believe
what I was
that's what
saying.
his wife said.
I don't know if the 3
But I
foot
think
would
it
make a
helped that you
difference.
offered
Are you
to.
correct?
The other way.
Craig,
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
sir.
It will be
I remember now.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, if I got the.
And thank you
stake
for offering
survey,
to pay for
then
half.
We just built the fence.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
And
you
then,
don't have to come back into here, you don't have to meet
Yep.
again
you know,
with this group, you can get an approved permit.
Yes. You would only have to come back.
yeah,
in
but that's what I was saying, if I did that, if I go up to the corner, it'll still kind of, ruffle some
It
feathers.
depends on where it is. He may be okay with it.
Yeah.
But depends.
I didn't know if the 3 foot would make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
long as there's stakes in the ground.
Sounds to me the best move is he's willing to split the survey cost. I'd get stake put in, everyone knows exactly where it is.
Yep.
And then you guys can have a conversation and come back if needed.
Yeah,
On
that'd be very valuable for you, if you have a certified stake.
Yep.
You can go either way from that.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you, appreciate it.
why don't you guys take a look at those pine trees down there in the alley?
Yeah, those look like they're way off.
Mr. Mock, we'll take a
The
look.
end of the meeting, is he ready?
Gary, motion to
Are we
Have a
done?
good night,
Do we
guys.
have a
Thank you.
motion to end the
Thank you.
meeting?
Those trees.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
third.
Thank you.
End it
Thank you.
at
Thank you.